Hi, welcome to Take a Break, Take a Breath for Friday, December 4th. I'm Rick Boyer, the pastor of Prospect Presbyterian Church, and Take a Break, Take a Breath is an invitation to pause in your day and breathe, to relax, to be calm and still in the presence of God, to find your center in God who made you, who loves you, and who calls you by name. Each time we have a Take a Break, Take a Breath session, I've been reading a different psalm, and we are up to Psalm 110. Now, Psalm 110, if you read it, you say, oh man, what's that about? It's a challenging psalm, and yet if I was to give you a trivia question, which psalm is quoted the most in the New Testament, it would be Psalm 110. The belief of most scholars is that the psalm is a royal psalm, meaning it refers to the king, and that it probably, after that, they're divided. Some say it was written for the coronation of a king. Some say it was written as the king prepared to go into battle. Some say it was written for the time when they were celebrating a victory in battle. What is clear is that it survived until the days of the exile, and it gets placed in the Psalter, in the Psalms, next to another psalm that has a reference about the right hand of God, or at the right hand. In one case, when you put these two psalms together, you get a very close relationship between God and the king. And in this case, in Psalm 110, the scholars believe that it is a psalm where it is asserting the king is the representative of all of God's people. And so it is presenting, when you read these two psalms together, a very close relationship between God and God's people. The psalm, the other thing about this psalm is that it is a world-shattering psalm if you don't think that our faith is political. This psalm is making very, very strong claims about the reign of God in the world, and that God rules, no one else. God rules. That's why Jesus went to the cross. That's why it's quoted so much in the scriptures. That's why Jesus was such a threat to the Roman authorities and to the other authorities of his day, and why Christianity can be such a threat sometimes to governmental leaders. There are real claims up here that God reigns over all the world, and God claims our commitment and our love. This verse that I chose for today for us to think about is verse 1. The Lord says to my Lord, sit at my right hand, make your enemies your footstool. Well, I skipped two words. The Lord says to my Lord, sit at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool. Now, the first Lord there is God the Lord, because it's all caps, and that means it's actually the name of God, the four letters for the name of God. The Lord says to my Lord, small l, meaning the king, sit at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool. So I invite you to find a quiet place in your house now, and to close the door, and to sit down and relax. Feel the comfort of the chair that you're in. I'm in a chair at my condo in the corner of a room that's comfortable, and it looks out over the water. Take some deep breaths and close your eyes. And as you breathe in the breath of God. And you breathe out all that separates you from God. Breathe in the breath of life, and breathe out all that does not give you life. Breathe in God's peace, and breathe out all those fears and anxieties and worries that are running around in your mind. Imagine that the peace of God with each breath is spreading all over your body. Imagine it like water running down over your head and your face, and as it runs down over your head, it calms your mind. And all of the things that are rushing around in your mind get quiet and still. And imagine as it runs down over your face that your jaw relaxes and perhaps you even smile. And then imagine it running down over your neck and the tensions in your neck relax. Imagine it running down your shoulders to your arms and down to the tips of your fingers. And the muscles in your shoulders relax. If there's been tension there, it melts away. And your hands, if they've been held tight, are opened up. Imagine it running down your back and all of the stresses and worries that we hide in our back and that give us backaches, they melt away. And the muscles untie if they've been in knots. Imagine as it runs over your chest that your heart rate slows to a nice calm pace and that your breathing continues to be deep and steady. And as it rolls down over your stomach, if there have been knots or flutters in your stomach, the knots are untied and the flutters are calmed. And imagine that it goes down over your hips and your thighs and your calves, all the way to the tips of your toes. And you are washed and immersed in the peace of God from head to toe. And then in your mind's eye, create a royal throne room, whatever comes to mind for you. Look around the room. Is it big? Are the ceilings high? What does it look like? Is it wood? Is it marble? Is it some other kind of stone? How is it lit? There's no one at first, and then you are greeted by a guard. And the guard says, "Come. The ruler has been waiting for you." And so you walk the length of the room. And there, at the end of the room, up a few steps, I imagine, is a throne, and the ruler is seated there. How is the ruler dressed? What does the ruler look like? The ruler is the Lord, the ruler of the world, the ruler of the universe. And there is another chair there, a chair on his right side. And the ruler points to that chair and says, "Sit, let's talk." And so you sit, and the ruler smiles. And I'll be quiet as you tell the ruler what you want to say and listen for the response. Then it comes time to say goodbye. You say goodbye to the ruler in whatever way is appropriate. And the guard comes and escorts you out. And as you go through the door, the image fades. And you picture the room that you're in now. And when you are ready, open your eyes. Well, that's Take a Break, Take a Breath for Friday, December 4th. I'm Rick Boyer. If you have feedback for me or you would like to talk or pray, send me an email and we'll make arrangements to sit and talk and pray together real soon. Well, we won't be able to sit together, but we can talk and pray together real soon.